It's no secret that Half-Life is probably one of the most, if not the most, influential games of all time. It is the game that kind of created the genre of linear storytelling in FPS games, or just linear storytelling in general, with limited, if no use of cutscenes whatsoever. Telling the story inside the game. And Half-Life is the very reason why we have so many other games, and it is the reason why we have the arena shooter. If we want to go ahead and name off its accomplishments and spin-offs derived from it, be it the Gold Source engine or, of course, Source 1 or Source 2 engines, the game has lasted through the eons and is still one of the best shooters out there, if with adequate graphics. But then again, with the remaster, quote unquote, fan project, which is Black Mesa, well, you see what I'm talking about. But when it comes to fanfiction, Half-Life is... there's a lot of Half-Life fanfictions. Reimaginings, gender swapping, so many others. But the big thing would be the crossovers, which I can understand and can get behind a few, and others not so much. But since Johnny Boy 11 has, of course, created this story, which is Libera Terra, it is a Halo X Half-Life fanfiction. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this 4-chapter fanfiction follows the adventures of Master Chief, as, of course, the mysterious G-Man and his even more mysterious employers has pulled the Chief and a few others into the war against the Combine. But I think the big question is, how does the story begin? Well, we're in, of course, Russia. And the big thing about it is that we're following 2 Resistance members as they discover Master Chief after, of course, he fucking warps in, with Cortana not rampant anymore. So this takes place around the Halo 4 entry of the Halo series. But after Master Chief dispenses some Combine forces, he's introduced to the Resistance members. 2, of course, being, well, I believe 3 being ex-members of the military. One of them being FSB Alpha Team. And, again, a really good introduction to foreign military forces. 2 of them being Americans, one from Massachusetts, or I can't remember the state exactly, and the other one being, of course, New Yorker. The final one in the member of the Resistance team is a Londoner, so, you know, we've got a Englishman, we have 2 Americans, and 2 Russians, and a Ukrainian in this team. But the cool part about this is that Master Chief is sort of exploring this world, and we're seeing his reaction to it, as well as the Resistance members' reaction to it. But the big thing about it is the G-Man when he enters into the story. And he enters into the story, spoiler warning, going forward, as they're going to secure an old Russian Federation bunker, which is supposed to be full of munitions and other goodies from the Russian Federations, and of course the Soviet era of the glorious Soviet Union. Had to do that for the leftist out there, but the big thing about it is the G-Man, of course, telling the Chief, or Jonathan, that he has a role to play, and he'll be promising him reinforcements. Now, as I'm reading this, I already know the G-Man shtick. He is a corporal being, at least I want to say, an interdimensional being, if not a multiverse being, who, in a way, in a weird sense, is just coming in and doing all sorts of crazy crap. The son of a bitch in of itself is goddamn frustrating in terms of the lack of Valve lore around the G-Man and his mysterious employers. Unless the G-Man, in a sense, is working with Valve. Or, you know, something along that nature. Like, is Valve supposed to be... You know, I'm diverging too much from the story itself. Let's just get to what the G-Man basically said. The G-Man, in a sense, told Master Chief that he is here to help out like he did in his world. His employers are impressed with the prowess and just pure luck of the Chief, and wants them to help out Gordon Freeman as he comes to enact the events of Half-Life 2. Here's where I'm going to stop you, Chief. Or, there's where I'm going to stop you, G-Man and Mysterious Employer. The Chief does not sit around. The Chief does what the Chief does best. Spartans do what Spartans do best. And yes, Spartans as in multiple Spartans, because the other reinforcements they get, which is around their bunker, which is full of good old-fashioned Soviet and Russian weaponry and high-powered ordnance of RPGs, AK-103s, and just other goodies, including these guys! And a whole lot of ammunition from 9x19 to fucking... Like I said, just a lot in there. There really is. But, what I will say is this. They basically got a bunker locked and loaded to go. And if I'm to assume the bunker layout, I'm going to say the bunker is maybe like the complex from Metro. And if so, then they've got a fucking bunker. Which, yes, was full of head crabs and zombies, but Spartan Team Blue, yes, Blue Team, with Master Chief at the head, wipes them the fuck out. And does so with extreme prejudice. Now, the other forces that do show up, thanks, of course, to G-Man's word, is Noble Team. And I can already guess going forward that anyone who has died or not died in the Halo canonical universe is going to show up. Meaning that there is a very, very large fucking possibility that our good old boy, badass, 100 grade A Marine Sergeant Everett Johnson will show up. My bad, not Sergeant Johnson, Sergeant Major Johnson. UNSC Marine Corps. Again, there's a high possibility of it. I mean, the G-Man and his mysterious employer work in mysterious ways. But again, because the UNSC are the UNSC, they aren't going to sit around. They aren't going to sit on their hands and not do a damn thing. They're going to take the fight to the Combine, and they are going to liberate the cities, be it City 17 or Moscow or even Kiev, which apparently are numbered as well. And if the UNSC does get orbital ships or any sort of orbital ability to basically have and launch orbital ordnance down below planetside, they're gonna do it, and they're gonna have a hell of a time basically bringing the pain. Now, going forward, I can see the UNSC forces actually being a major pain for the Combine occupation forces, and even their mysterious overlords, those big slug things, essentially. And once that happens, they're going to bring the fucking pain. Even then, the best way to take them out is going to be, well, they're going to basically use basic tactics if they have a large enough force. If they don't have a large enough force, Noble Team, along with the other Spartans, are going to be doing hit-and-run tactics, assassinations, taking down key points and facilities, crippling infrastructure. They are going to conduct a guerrilla campaign. They are going to do what they do best, and that best is what Spartans do. And with Noble Six being the lone wolf and having a fucking file so black as the night that you would have to take ages bleaching it off, not even bleaching off all that ink to basically see what the hell's under there, then you are going to have an unstoppable force of that alone. Even if basic UNSC forces with the UNSC infrastructure, even a UNSC ship, be it the Pillar of Autumn, be it the Spirit of Fire, or even the Infinity shows up, they are going to have a big, fun old time bringing the pain. But that's that. What do I think of the story? It's good. It's a little short, yes, but judging by the timestamp on this thing, it is a little bit more earlier, and it's in the author's writing. But it is well done. And again, I can't wait to see him continue it. But granted, the guy has a ton of other fan fictions, and I'm just going through the ones that I believe need a little bit more love. But what about you? What do you, my audience, think of this fanfiction, and what do you think about the Halo versus the Half-Life universe? Do you think the UNSC would be able to kick their ass? What about the Covenant, or even the Swords of St. Helios, led by the Arbiter? Let me know down below. And if you want to come join me and the author himself in the Discord, there is a link down below in the pinned comment where you guys can join in a Discord that I'm in. And if you want to help support the channel, consider donating to our PayPal down below. And if you want to read this one for yourself, it is also down below in the pinned comment. Till next time, ladies and gentlemen, I've been Airsoft Alan. I will see you lovely people in the next video. And the next fanfiction we're taking a look at is what happens when Master Chief shows up in Azura Lane. Ship girls galore, ladies and gentlemen. And dear God Almighty, I can already hear you arguing in the comments section who's the best ship waifu. Haven't seen the anime, haven't read the manga, haven't played the game. I'm just going in this blind. God help me.